Hey, man.
Hi, Sid. How you doing?
Good, man. We're back on a Sunday, and let's start this chat. I think it's going to be pretty much short and sweet because the only thing special with England and South Africa, and wow, I didn't expect such a demolition from South Africa. Fine, we called it. So with our patriotic wish that we shall beat England 2-1, but I didn't expect such a dominant performance. 9 innings and 12 runs. Your thoughts?
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think the Proteas gave England a bit of their own medicine here with the baseball. I think there was one team that actually went for it. If you look at the batting as well, I mean, those lower order runs from Keshav and Janssen was immense in giving us that lead. And I mean, with the way the bowlers bowl in this game, I mean, if you look at Lords as a ground, Proteas have quite a good record at Lords because I think they've only lost one Test match there and they've won 5 already now at Lords. So it's a happy hunting ground for the Proteas, and I had this feeling. I mean, it was we win the toss and bowl first, put them in, and the condition. I mean, if there was any attack that England have faced this summer that was going to give them a real test, is what this Proteas attack. Because I mean, I looked at this attack. You've got the likes of Janssen, you've got the likes of Rabada, Gidi, Nokia. I mean, you've got a 4-prong pace attack, and then you've got Keshav there that is so controlled with his left arm spin. Boy, oh boy, I got to give it to KG. I think that was a champion performance by him, especially in that first innings. Absolutely brilliant. And to be fair, he was supported ably as well by Nokia and Gidi. I think and the attack bowled so beautifully in that first innings, and restricted the Poms to 165. And I mean, opening partnership from Elgar and Subtle, I mean, that was brilliant. Really dug in there, really frustrated them, and it made it a little bit easier for the middle order. There was a bit of a hiccup. I think there's one weakness that we back here. Something that we can improve on is that middle order. I think there were about 80 to 100 runs that were left in between those batting positions. So that's something that we can obviously improve on, is our middle order batting. But I mean that partnership between Janssen and Keshav really took the game away from England and put us in a dominant position.
Yeah, I was just thinking that Janssen has been a really valuable addition to South Africa because he doesn't only bowl, he can bat. I think he can field as well. So I think, yeah, man, he's so young. I'm starting to think that Mumbai Indians are becoming like our talent breeding ground because we keep getting players because of Mumbai. First it was Janssen and now there's the Stubbs. So I think we got to think IPL. I know people don't appreciate it at times, but I think we got to pray that IPL keeps going because these IPL franchises are unearthing talent for us. Funny, eh?
Well, I mean, you know what they say about the IPL? The IPL is the Academy of Cricket. It's the Academy of Cricket, and that's where you get these future stars. But I mean, and now I understand why the selectors actually rate Janssen so highly. He's rated so high because I mean, his bowling is just getting better and better. Batting is so handy, down the order. So he can actually, if he works a little bit more on his batting, he could become a genuine all-rounder. And that's something that we've been missing since the days of Palace. I mean, the cool days that we grew up. I mean, watching JJ batting, bowling.
But he's still young. I wouldn't want to put too much pressure on him, though. And then I think Rabada needs to take himself more seriously with the bat. He can bat as well, but now I think his focus on his bowling. Don't want to put too much pressure on him. He's burdened as it is. So I think what are I gonna say? Yeah, I think England are always gonna be up against it because they've been so used to chasing. So, but that makes them a bit one-dimensional because they can only win by chasing and not by setting up a score. But I guess it works for us. Hopefully we win the toss. Hopefully it's another greenish kind of, I say greenish, hopefully it's another similar pitch, and then we shall win the series.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's a good point you brought up there with England being a bit one-dimensional, because if you look at all the victories that they've had this summer, they've chased, and this is the first time they had to set a score. And we've seen a bit of, we've seen them exposed in terms of setting a score. They really don't have that same oomph that they have when they're chasing the score. So that's something they need to work on, that one-dimensional sort of game plan. It's all good and well chasing scores down, but you're not going to have it all the way in test matches. You have to set a score. So I mean, it's looking all good for the Proteas, but I mean, they got to keep their foot on the ground. They can't really get too carried away. I mean, celebrate it as much as you want. But, you know, you got to get back in, and you got to try and put your feet on the ground, you know, harder training and you know, really prepare really well for this next test match at Old Trafford in Manchester, which is definitely going to, you know, add a bit of, give a bit of support to the spinners. So, you know, Keshav is really going to come to his own in this at Old Trafford. So yeah, it's going to be a fascinating test match. I mean, all the best to the Proteas.
What type of pitch is it in Manchester? Is it similar to Lord's, or is it a bit more spin friendly?
Well, I mean, recently it's been quite spin friendly. You've seen a lot of limited overs being played at Manchester as well. So it does take the odd turn. Hey, so I mean, if you look at Lord's really with conditions, it's really a seamless paradise, and especially on day one, it's you know, it's moving all over, and we saw it on day one. So Old Trafford, I mean, it's a good batting wicket. Trafford is a really good batting wicket. You can really get stuck in and score a lot of runs. So you know, the Proteas are going to be wary here, because I think England would probably want to come back quite hard here. But you know, this attack, I back this attack 100% in terms of what they offer, and you know, they're always looking for wickets. They're hunting packs. I mean, they're like wolves. They're hunting packs. And this is an attack that can get you 20 wickets. I mean, we've been speaking about it for a long time. The weakness of this team in the past was their batting, and we've got to admit it. There's always been strength in Proteas attack, and even in the India series as well. And, you know, last year, the fantastic series. I mean, the bowlers really, you know, kept the game, the team in the game, and you know, you're seeing it how dominant and how ruthless this bowling attack. And I need to give credit to Dean Elgar as well. I mean, Dean's a you know, he's a straight shooter. You know, he says it like it is, and he's brought this approach to Test cricket, which I love. You know, this is the Proteas of the old, sir. This is the Proteas of the old. The days of Mockle, the days of Steyn. You know, really, you know, getting against the opposition, Vernon. You know, so I mean, this Test side is looking in good shape, This Test side is really looking in good shape.
I would say that Dean Elgar is probably captaining SA's most inexperienced team compared to other captains that had more experience in the team. So I think he probably, you know, should SA win the Test championship, it'll be more of a bigger achievement for us in a way, because if you think about it, we've been on top of the league with more experienced players. So I think if we had to do that, that'd be awesome for us. And then I think, you don't think England were undercooked, by the way, not to take anything away from us, but then I know Cullen is saying England should have been harder, should have played harder. It probably should have meant that England should have been a bit more braver, but then I don't know. Being braver against our attack does carry risk, but then I guess in life you've got to take risks. It'll be interesting to see how England play in the next Test match. In fact, I wouldn't mind us kind of defending this time round. I know we want batting. I know we want bowling first. I wouldn't mind us actually seeing how we can counter bad balls.
It's pretty interesting you say that, hey, because if you talk about undercooked, I'd say the Proteas were a bit undercooked because the last time they played a test match was in April, and England have only played 4 this summer. So you look at this England side, they've had more test match action than the Proteas. So, and I think they also were the Caribbean as well. So they played about 6, I'd say around 7 test matches already, and the Proteas only played about, I think this is their 5th. Yeah, you could say around 7 as well for the year, but England have had a lot more uh, game time in terms of test match cricket compared to the Proteas
Mm.
recently. So I'd say they would have been in a much better position, and their side was looking dominant, after 4 straight wins this summer. So, I mean, all credit to the Proteas, hey, all credit to the Proteas. They really,
Yeah,
they,
but
they,
we did
they
have that
to the,
warm up. But we did have the warm up match. Fine, we lost pretty bad, but I think that warm up match toughened us up. I think England hadn't played Test matches for a while. If you remember, I think they lost that momentum after beating India, and then I think it would have been interesting had we played SA after India to see what would have happened. But then that's all in hindsight, man. It's all that theory. But anyway, I don't mind. It's good to see the Pommies losing. Yeah, I think.
especially, I mean, it's a really,
Yeah,
really special ground. To win at Lords,
yeah.
it's really
I
special. It
think I
means
think
a
they
lot.
got I think they got the venues wrong because they should have known better that teams get motivated at Lords. They should have left Lords for last. I think. Yeah, I think they did that the one time where they left Lords for last. But anyway, I think it is what it is. I don't mind it. It's kind of nice. Hopefully, we can have revenge, finish the series off on the second test match. And then I think before we wrap off, I think we forgot to give credit to Australia for winning the female Olympics. Well done to them. And I think India's continuing their domination over Zimbabwe as predictable. It's kind of amazing with all that talent. And then I think that's pretty much it from my side. Any final words before we wrap off?
Uh, I mean, we can speak about the New Zealand and West Indies series, which is
Oh yeah, I
looking
forgot
pretty
about that. Yeah.
interesting. Looking pretty
Okay.
interesting players.
Okay. Hold on a second here. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, I haven't actually been following all the highlights and catch up. For some reason, I was kind of like, I remember the first one, New Zealand took the first match. Let me just see. Oh yeah, you're right. Hold on a second. Your first T20, New Zealand won by 12, 13 runs. The second T20, oh, New Zealand won by 90 runs. And the third T20, West Indies won by 8 wickets. And then the first ODI, West Indies won by 5 wickets. And then New Zealand got the second ODI. So New Zealand took the T20 series 2-1, and this is looking like it's gonna go down to the wire, which is today at 8 p.m. Interesting. Day night ODI. Rarity in West Indies, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty interesting, but I think the batting has been quite disappointing from both sides in the one day so far because I've seen the bowlers really flourish on those wickets. So those wickets are quite spicy, eh? At the moment, if you look at it, but uh, look, the Windies were really impressive in that first game, 191, and they chased it down. But a bit of a disappointing batting display in that second game. So I mean, 212. I mean, that's a really a pass score in one day.
Hmm.
You should be chasing that quite easily. And yeah, you got to give
Yeah.
credit to the Black Caps. Hey, I mean, they really came back. Really, really. That bowling performance in the chase was really lethal. I think they had the Windies down. It was 6 down by the 10th over. So I mean, that score is a little bit flattering because a lot of low order runs there that got them, to some sort of, I'd say, respectability in that scoreline. It was looking double figures for a very long time in that game. So, yeah, disappointing batting performance from both teams. I think New Zealand were a bit disappointing in that first game. They didn't really bat to their potential in the second game. However, their bowlers won them the game. Because as I say, the pitches are looking quite spicy there. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, 212 in a one day match, you don't see that very often these days, eh? You
Hmm.
really don't see that
Hmm.
very often. So that pitch is really spicy. So
Yeah. Yeah.
for a, I'm just hoping for a much more quality sort of game in terms of where run scoring, is going to be better run scoring because, yeah, I think the bowlers have really had their say in the first 2 games.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I think when it comes down to pitches, when it comes down to pitches, I think I've said so much about West Indian pitches, and I think they've got it all wrong. They should keep the spicy pitches for the test matches and have flat pitches for the ODIs, man. It's just not good for the development, but that's just my theory. What do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's hurting your team in terms of run scoring, especially in one days where you want to see run scoring. You want to see your batters get into form. In test matches, I mean, obviously it's a more for 50-50 game. And that is why we love test cricket so much because, I mean, the bowlers have their say and then the batters can have their say as well. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of battles going on in test matches. And I think that's important for you to have a really even pitch because, I mean, the batsmen have to work for their runs. That's what test cricket is all about. You've got to grind hard. So that's why it's so important. But yeah, I think, I mean, I'm looking at one-day cricket as a whole. I mean, there's a lot of articles going up here, and this is a sort of format that's not favorable at the moment. I'm not sure what's your opinion on that because if you're looking at world cricket at the moment, T20 and Test cricket is still really really popular. But the one-day game is really diminishing in popularity at the moment. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, Wasim Akram had mentioned about it, whereby he had said that when he's commentating that for 50-over cricket, it's just becoming, and to put it probably in my words, he was finding it dull. He finds it more easier to comment on T20 cricket, and then even Test cricket, he said this, getting all the, popularity. I think that Test Championship had really added context to it. I know, but though I've never really understood the point structure of it or this percentage thing, I just think it's all crazy. And then I think the Super League thing was just all jumbled up. So I think for the 50-over game, maybe they should just have triangular series, man, just to make it a bit more exciting. I can know in the good old days we had it, so maybe you could have India, Pakistan, Australia. I know they used to have it in Australia, that kind of series, or you could have, and then you can even invite the small nation like Afghanistan and Ireland to take part. Quadrangular, good for development. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I was a big fan of the triangular series, especially the one in Australia. And I know they're going to reintroduce it again in the Future Tours program in 2025. So it's really, really important that they have this triangular series because it adds a lot of context and it makes it quite exciting because I think every game is a do or die sort of thing. Because I mean, when you're playing the triangular series, I mean, the top two would probably go and play a final, and that's how you'd probably get a winner. So yeah, I'm all for those triangular series. I think we've been speaking about it for too long. The ICC has really, really got to look at freshening up the ODI game because I think, as was said now, it's a bit predictable, don't you think? In terms of the run scoring, in terms of batters set themselves up. I mean, first 10 overs, they let themselves a watch, and then they try and nudge it around the next 15, 20 overs, and then they really go for it hard in that last 10 overs. So it's quite predictable and quite irritating at times when you think about it, especially commenting. So, I mean, I can understand Wasim's, view on that because, I mean, T20 is much more exciting to commentate on and Test cricket as well. I mean, the World Test Championship has given it so much of context, has made it as Test cricket, add that excitement to Test matches now. So, yeah, I'm all for triangular series and come on and bring it on. I mean, I'd love to.
Pakistan, I know that Pakistan is doing. I know Pakistan is doing it, which is kind of nice of them.
Absolutely, and that can only help one-day cricket. Get its popularity back because I can understand a lot of spectators at the moment have been fed a heavy diet of T20 cricket and obviously Test cricket as well. The one-day cricket, I don't think we've seen a lot of one-day cricket in recent times. I know you can back me up. We haven't seen a lot of one-day cricket in recent times. And that's the reason why.
I think. Yeah, and I find it a bit annoying. We're having a 50-over World Cup next year, so we should have actually had more one-day cricket and taken it easier. But then we also have a T20 World Cup, so it's just not a win-win situation. I know Ravish Shastri had mentioned that cricket should go the soccer route, whereby teams do their franchise thing and then just go for and just come for the World Cups, Yeah, maybe we will probably end up going that way. There's just too much of T20 cricket as it is this franchise cricket. Maybe we should just do away with international T20 cricket. Let the players do their franchise especially for the T20 part, and then just into the T20 World Cup. Could go that route. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with T20 cricket, I mean, it requires specialists. There is a lot of specialists that require in T20 cricket, guys that can hit the ball out the ground. I think if you're talking, you don't need a lot of anchors in one day in T20 cricket. I think probably one, at most two, is probably enough. You've got to have bowlers, and you've got to have bowlers that are quite, that have that element of surprise. And I think T20 cricket, that's where the spinners come into it, big time. T20 cricket, the spinners really come into the game big time. So, you've got to have about 2 or 3 spin options. So, yeah, I wouldn't say, completely do away with T20 cricket, because I think it's important for players to obviously, I'd say you've got to have that team environment. You've got to play together as a squad. So you've got to have those T20 series leading up to the T20 World Cup. So, yeah, I mean, franchise cricket is all good, but I mean, you play with your teammates all the time.
Just have a best of 3, instead of having best of 5, best of this. It's ridiculous. Too many T20s, and then you have too many ODI. I think that India came to South Africa and there was so much of it, but I don't mind. I guess we do need the money as well, but just in general, there's just so much of, I don't know. But by the way, there's FTP schedule.
Yeah, sorry. I think the real issue is that there's a lot of franchise T20 cricket at the moment, sir. And obviously you've got the hunt as well. And COVID hasn't made things any easier, because we've got a really cramped up international calendar. Because, I mean, we've had 2 World Cups, 2 T20 World Cups, back to back, in 2021, and then we're going to have one this year, then the 50 over World Cup next year. So I think after 2023, you'll probably get things calming down a bit. But I think it's important for the ICC trophy to come back as well in terms of 50 overs, because it adds a lot of context to the 50 over game as well.
Yeah, it's nice that they're having the Champions Trophy coming back. I think that was nice. And then I think this FTP schedule, I don't like it for the test matches for us. I think we got to win the test championship so that teams will take us more seriously, man, because this is really bad. Imagine if we win the test championship, we're number 1 or something. Then we don't have test
I mean, if teams don't
Pardon?
Look, winning at Lords is quite a big thing. So if teams don't take us seriously after winning at Lords, I don't know what is.
Yeah, no.
This was a really, really dominant performance. So I'm sure the Australians are looking at this. I'm sure the Indians are looking at this, and and they're looking at this bowling attack. And this bowling attack is lethal at the moment. So bring it on, bring it on. I'm really looking forward to the series. I still think the Proteas will win the series 2-1. I think England will probably sneak a win somewhere along there, probably the last game, but I think the Proteas will win the series. Eh?
I have a theory. If bad ball does occur and that England are chasing it, I think it'll be 1-1. Then the decider will probably be us winning it, with us dictating it, with England having to set up the game. So I think it's going to go that route. I might be wrong, but it could happen that way. It'd be nice if we can defend bad ball instead of. I don't mind us doing it this way around, because I want to see how England were trying to set up the game. But let's see how we defend bad ball. I know they don't like using the word bad ball, but it kind of sounds kind of cool as you're saying it. Bad ball.
Bad ball. Bad ball. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. But I still think with this bowling attack, if they do win the toss at Old Trafford, you probably want to put them in, because they're looking a bit fragile. Their batting lineup is looking a bit fragile.
Of course. But I know England, they'll want to chase. So I don't mind us trying to defend the score this time around, just to see how versatile we are. We've done it, England batting first, but let's see how we do it, England chasing it. At least if we can beat England chasing, hey, that'll be that'll be a killer blow, man. You kill them on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I love the sound of that, hey. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, hey. Look, I think the balance of the side is looking good at the moment. The only thing that they probably need to work on is that middle order batting. You need a bit of runs from Markram. Markram is really under pressure for his spot. Markram
He
is
looked
really
good.
under pressure with his spot.
Good. He looked good, Markram, when I saw him batting at catch up, but then I think he got a bit unlucky the way he got out. So I think he's okay. We'll just, yeah, I'll just have to hope that he gets into the runs. And I think, and should we win this series, be a good revenge, and then we play against our favorite team, against your favorite team, Australia, and then come the Test Championship, and hopefully we win it. Hopefully, I mean, it'd be interesting to see who we play against. Yeah, that's the only thing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think Markram place he'll probably keep his spot because I mean the team is winning. So yeah, probably another chance for him to get some runs and just try and solidify his spot. I mean, we all know what a talented player he is. He's a super talented player. He just hasn't been getting those runs that we know of. I mean, when he first started, he was scoring hundreds, at will. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see the Markram really get in amongst the runs because I mean he is going to play his favorite team at the end of the year, Australia. So got to get into that series with some good form.
Yeah. What's your thought on bounce ball? Do you think a bounce ball was just made up just to counter bad ball?
I don't think I don't see much in bounce ball. I just know Boucher is the hardest nosed coach. Dean is the hardest nosed captain, and just leave it like that. I mean, this is the Proteas that we know. This is the Proteas that I grew up watching. A side that's ruthless in their bowling and really scores tough runs.
Yeah. You had your reservation on Boucher. So, any nice thoughts on him now?
Yeah, look, he's done well with this Test team. He's really done well with this Test team. I think his coaching style, along with Dean's captaincy style, is really blending well in the side here. I think they both have a really good relationship, and I think that's really important for success. And yeah, I mean, I just hope it continues. And the Proteas, if they win the series and they do well in Australia, it's looking good for that Test Championship final. So it's something for us to look forward to because it's been a tough couple of years in the Proteas camp, and it's nice to see things getting back to where it was.
Okay, I think that's pretty much a wrap. I shall see you soon.
Sure, sir. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and chat to you soon.